How much is my collection? How much is my Charizard worth? Let me show you how to properly identify what card you have. Now, before we begin and we go through all the different ways that you can do this, here is how you physically can identify the right card. It might be pretty obvious to some, maybe not to others, but in this bottom right hand corner here, you have the identifier. So the 234091 that is down here on the bottom left of every card. Some of the older cards have it in the far right hand side, whatever, but it's always at the bottom of the card. If you're looking at this card, but you have it in Japanese set, I've got one here that I prepared earlier. As you can see, the English is 234/091, whereas the Japanese is actually 349/190. So make sure if you are using a card that you need to get priced, or you're just wondering what the price might be, that you get the exact one, because they might be slightly different size sets in different languages. So we're going to leave that there, and let's get rid of the Japanese, and let's go through the English version. Now, these are all the different websites that I'm going to go through today. So we've got eBay, the buy it now side of things. We've got Collectr. We've got eBay last solds and the average of that. We've got TCG Player, Whatnot, PriceCharting, Cardmarket, and PokéData. I'm going to go through all of those in a bit of a deep dive so that you can fully understand which works best for you and why certain ones might be better for certain markets than others. So starting off with what people probably do a lot of the time, which is search the card, get the card that they want to get, and then they go to eBay and they type it in. Now you've got that identifier, it makes it a lot easier to find. Whether you've got a graded version of it, even easier, because a lot of this video you'll see the condition really does matter. So if you've got one that is a certain card that's already graded, then you're going to be comparing apples with apples. Whether it's Ace or PSA, you can do it however you want. But once you've got the card, use as small amount of words as possible. So I would say use the Charizard. You can probably get rid of the EX, but it will find it easily enough. And then the identifier there for the card that you're looking for. So we're going to copy this because we're going to use this the whole video. I always put it at the top of my spreadsheet. It's always worth having a spreadsheet anyway. A lot of the answer will be just do it on a spreadsheet. You can work out roughly what it is and compare all the different things. So what I do, I'd press search on here, and that is what it would look like. This is what you'd get. Now, this will show you all the graded versions, all of the raw versions, whether it's PSA, Ace, 9s, 10s, mint, damaged, whatever. So you will have a bit of an array here. The reason I'm showing you this is because this is really how a lot of people search for their prices of their cards. They look on eBay of what people are looking for. And the only real issue with that is people looking, this is what people are wanting to sell it for. It doesn't mean that it's worth that, because I could put it on there at £5,000, and if you see that and you go, oh, it's a £5,000, I'm all right on this card, it might not be, because that's just what I want to get for it. So what I try and do is, if I'm going to look at the buy it now prices, I try and scout out what the highest and the lowest is of these cards. I try and filter out the auctions, because like this one's £83, but it's still got a day and a half left. That could be anything. Like, it's irrelevant, really, on here. Now, quick parentheses, we will, as you've seen further on down this list, we will come back to eBay sold. So if you're thinking, Sam, we will come back to that, and I promise. But whilst you're on here, you can filter down the left-hand side down here to buy it now, which is useful. Then you can also filter to your country as well. UK only is how I do it. So I filter it for those. If you're on mobile as well, just press filter and do those two same things. That is how I would do it if I was using this process. So on here, we're going to look for the lowest and the highest of the top, I don't know, 20 cards or something. So 135, 141, they're pretty close. 146, 150, 146, 141, that's graded, 146. 156 looks fairly high, so let's put 156 in here. 131 was the cheapest, wasn't it? 158, alright, whatever, 158, that's fine. 55, 160, okay, yeah, 160. 180, yo, 180. 131 was the cheapest that I could buy it now at. So you get the picture, right? You can do that, and that is a decent way of doing it. We're not working out averages, we're just saying what the highest and the lowest is for now. So if you're going to sell this, or you've got your collection, a lot of these apps that I'm going to look at are decent for looking after your collection of working out which cards you've got in your collection, but are they good at working out the values of that collection? Right, we've got the Collectr app up next. Now let's try Collectr. This app looks quite clean on the surface, so let me show you this. Where is it? We've got a Collectr app here. this is what it looks like. When you first come in, all you do is you type in Charizard EX 234/091 and it will come up with this. Looks cool, looks clean, has some fancy charts and things like that. Now, with the collector side of things, what this is going to be doing is this is comparing the average values of those buy it now prices. You see the issue with that, right? The average price here, 180 till that, what is it? 155 is the average price for this. It's going to give us a guide price of about that, but it's kind of not. It's, yeah, so maybe it looks at a few more. It's got the 143 on the guide price here, so 143. That's just looking at what people are looking to sell it for. It doesn't necessarily mean what it's worth, what people are willing to pay for. That's all it really matters. If you're running a business, what's willing to pay for is more important, right? So again, the graphs look cool, they look really good. You can see a trend, it's gone up, shot up, and it's coming back down a bit. That's interesting to see that trend. You can see the graded card price trends. It doesn't also look at the condition of these cards, so it doesn't say if there's one that's bent in half, that might be in the 131. We'd have probably discounted that and gone, well, 146 is the lowest would go, because our card that I have is immaculate condition, but the 131 price on there that it's considering within this average is damaged. Maybe, I don't know, I've not looked. So if you're pricing up your collection and you have Collectr app, it's a great thing to work out what cards you've got in your collection, what you need, but the actual value of your collection is not as accurate as it could be, and I'll show you why. The next app we're going to look at, going back to eBay, so we've got that filter on for the country that we're in and buy it now. What we're going to do, we're going to switch over, we're going to press advanced, and on mobile this is similar, but what you do on mobile, you click filter again, and then you scroll down, it might say show more, and you scroll down again, and there's one that says sold listings. So this is how I personally do it, and it takes a bit longer, but I genuinely believe this is a better way of doing it. So you go sold listings and search. Now this will search all the ones that were listed for auction and for the buy it now and offers received, all that sort of stuff. Again, having the UK on there, looking down this left hand side, having the UK only on there will help, because a lot of this, if you're comparing, let's say if you're in the UK and you're looking at all the data from the US, well, it might be slightly different prices, often it is, but that also includes the postage. Like if I was to buy that for 131, let's say in America, and have it over here, it would cost me £15 maybe for postage, and potentially, depending on the price of what you're buying, could have 20% import tax. So if it's £100, that's another £20 on top, £20 postage. You could be paying £40 more than the price it's listing that you see on here. So you see why that could be an issue. It might not be, but it could be an issue. So I would always search the location you're in, and then go from there, or at least add in the idea of the amount of postage on there. Whether it's £3 or £4, I ignore it. But if it's a lot, then I would add it in. So on here, we're doing the last 5 solds. I would typically have a spreadsheet with 10 on, but for today we'll do 5, just because it's going to be fairly repetitive. So it has the good thing with this, it has the sold date on it as well, right? So you can see that date there, that when this sold. So that's 135, the next one is 130, the next one down is 120. So looking at that data, the last 3, it's gone from 120 to 135. Wonderful, looks like it's going up. Then there's an outlier here, which is 156, mint condition it says, or near mint to mint condition. And then the other one is 14999. So what we would do is, I would typically do 10, but let's do 5 for today. You get the idea. And then we'll do the average, so equals average, then open the brackets and select the values you want, press enter, and it tells you the average for these is £138. Cool, that's our average, that's roughly where we are. Collectr seems to be a bit higher than that, but not really that far off on this occasion. Might be different for different cards. But you can see why eBay is, in my opinion, a better comparison for that. However, there are different uses and different needs for it. The good thing with eBay is you can see on here that this one might be mint. This one says near mint to mint condition. This one says near mint as well. That one doesn't say anything, but you can go into the listing. You can physically go in and have a check. You can see the original listing. You can scroll down if you want to and go in and see if on here, maybe in the details, it said pack fresh sleeved. Yeah, Hilarious. So yeah, you could go in and it might say that it's creased or whatever. So you could actually knock some out because of that. Whereas just getting a snapshot of the data of this is the number doesn't really tell you enough, in my opinion. Next one up, we've got TCG Player. Now with TCG Player, you can see here again, it looks nice and clean. It's another big one, especially in the USA. A lot of people in the US use this. Not so much over the UK apparently, but the US there are. It's great for bulk stuff, but quite vague on the condition again, and it doesn't really line up with the UK pricing. If you're looking to buy it, to sell it, to grade it, to sell it, it's not, in my opinion, probably not the best fit, because again, it's just a average and it doesn't give you enough data based on the UK or your own specific country. It does have some graphs on here, so you can see what the trend is like. You know, it's shot up and then it's coming back down. But again, it doesn't have all the data on here. You can buy some here for like $400. Yo, that's don't do that. But yes, it says on here you can buy it from them for $232. What does that mean? I always have, when I'm pricing stuff up, I always have a tab open with, just type in the currency that you're looking for too. So USD to GBP, Great British Pounds, and you just type in there, what was it? 232. So that's 175. Yo, 175 it's saying on here. So you'll be like, oh, I'm in the money on this one. That's brilliant. What it might also do, if it's overpricing it and you're getting it to grade in a 10, right? Let's say you want to grade it in a 10. And you're looking to buy one, you're going to buy one at that price at 175, and you've seen online that a 10 is here, the £328. That is amazing. Well, if it gets a 10, you're going to happily buy it at 175 and you'll sell it at 328. That's great. That's cool. If the card is a bit closer, like a smaller difference between raw and a 10, you're going to be eating into your margin, because you could have realistically picked it up for £138. You've wasted £30-40. You may as well do a bit more research and get it. Depends what you're using this for, right? So there's a lot of different use cases on this. But that is TCG Player in a nutshell. There is a bit more information, and you can have a click around. You can move some of this about, see more of the data as well. But that is TCG Player. Next one on our list is Whatnot. Now I stream on Whatnot, cardgalaxy_rapid on Whatnot, and I use it a lot to sell things, and a lot of people come in and buy from us on there. However, with the shop side of things, you will get a lot of US folks in here. You'll get some UK on this card, apparently not today. Oh yeah, there you go, like Chef Before Trading, really cool guy. He has it at £1 start, so jump into his show, you'll buy it at £1. We've got it on here in one of our shows as well coming up, so if you want it, you can come and grab it as well on ours. Bit of a awkward one to work out what the price is, because you can't see past data. So if you're going off of what the buy it now price is, you can come into one of our streams, get it for £1 or starting at £1, or you can just go in and grab it from these guys. So Whatnot's great to buy it or to sell it, but to work out what it's worth, I'd use these other ones personally. But what are these saying? 180, 225. What's that about? 230, 200. So let's say $200. So let's go $200, 151. 151, let's go. Okay, next one up is PriceCharting. Now in PriceCharting, again, surprisingly enough, has a chart. Look at that. Has a chart. You can see the similar graph where it goes up and down. The thing with PriceCharting, it's more common with like the retro scene and more of the gaming side of things, which is quite useful for like sealed collections. I've seen that on like sealed boxes and stuff. But for singles, again, it's the average price. You do have some data down at the bottom, a bit more data than others. It's quite cool because you can see what the average price of the graded ones are, which is useful if you've got a certain grade in dollars again. So you know you'd have to convert it, but it takes a second, doesn't it? Just check that up. With the ungraded side of things, you do have some data here, so you can have a look through this. Some of them say if it's near mint or not. Most of them don't. Like Play this one, $157, and other ones are 200 that don't say that. However, this is eBay's data, so I don't see why you would use this over eBay. I don't have any affiliation with eBay. I just use it personally. But you can use this, and you can just type these details into your top 10 or last solds or whatever. But you're effectively using data from another website on this website when you could just use it on the original website. I don't understand why you would do that. Maybe it's over a longer period, fine, you can copy and paste it, cool, I see where it comes from. But it's good to see this chart, and it's good to see what the average is if you want to. Again, this is the average of the whole market, mainly the USA. So if you're in the UK, again, take it with a pinch of salt. So you can't filter this, I don't believe, and somebody comment below, I'm sure you probably can, but I can't find it. Where you can filter it where it's just UK only or whatever. So again, PriceCharting is saying on here that the average ungraded is $190. So let's just, what's that, 145? 143. 143. So that's saying 143. Right, next one up, we've got Cardmarket. Again, another nice looking website. It's great for the European stuff. Quite good for the Japanese cards as well. If you're looking to find, to buy stuff, it's really quite good. Whether you're going to use it to comp your prices, which is what this video is about, is up to you. We're still going back to the asking price on this one though. So you're looking on here, they're not verified sales, they're not sales that have gone through, there's no back data on it. It's based on asking price, the average of the asking price. It's quite useful that it's got this 30-day, 7-day, 1-day average. So if you are a bit of more of an investor bro type of person that you want to get a card and see how it's performing over time, cool, this is probably a useful thing to see some charts. But again, it's on the asking price, so you can manipulate that quite easily, because you could just, me and you probably wouldn't, but a company or somebody with a lot of different accounts could manipulate that and put that as like 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, then the average starts building up, right? So these can be manipulated. I'm not saying that they are, but it's easier to manipulate this than sold data, right? So we'll look at this at 160. That's our price on here. 160 is where we're looking at on this one. But you can look at the last day's averages of 200. One little side note on this, you can filter to your own country. It automatically comes without that filter on. So it'll come here with the, if you're looking to buy any of these, with the country of origin, it will have a little warning sign saying, hey, this is outside of your country, just heads up. But you can go on here and buy these off these people. If you look at their sales and like 91,000, I'd trust that over 42, but it doesn't mean that Oscar's not good. Sorry, Oscar. He's not even got any decent information in there, but do you know what I mean? Like, that's a useful information, useful tool to have, and how to use it. And then it's got a graph here of how it goes. The last one I've gone on here that I've been asked to review is PokéData. Not one that I'd used before, but I thought it was a cool one to have a look at. A similar thing, again, I think if you log in, you get a bit more information, but similar here where you're really looking at data from eBay, which is, it's kind of a nice breakdown. It's got nice visuals, but again, it's mostly built from eBay averages. And if you're not careful, you're just looking at a polished version of the same data without seeing any raw sales details behind it. But it does have the information here. So it says that eBay's average is this, TCG Players and Cardmarket. It's kind of looking at the three and what this is here. So an interesting one, $181 is what it's saying. 181, which is 136. So whether they're close to the correct answer or not, whichever one you find better is fine. So after looking at this, I'm still going to go with what I said earlier. I think eBay last sold is the most accurate way to price your cards. It's based on what someone's actually paid, not what someone hopes to get. But you know what? I mean, I've learned quite a lot just looking through this as a task and looking at different apps, because I think each one has its own place. I just won't let each one govern what I think about the prices of the market. So hopefully that comes across clearly and informative. And remember, the best strategy is use the card ID, filter by sold listings, compare the condition of the cards, and that's how you're going to be able to price it properly for yourself. Drop a comment below if you've got a better way, or if you think I've missed something, which I most likely have at some way. Always open to testing new ways and new tools and new apps. So if you do have anything, comment below, drop a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.